Don't get caught up in moving average crosses on longer term time frames because it's so laggy. It's one thing to do that on a 1 minute chart, a 3 minute chart, a 5 minute chart when you're day trading, but on a daily chart, I mean, can you say, yeah, that's the black? Yeah, right, okay. I mean, I could say the love cross is the 2150 right there, and then boom, this happened here, and what happened? Nothing. So my cross is better than your cross. You know what I mean? It's like just look at levels and major moving averages. Did the wealth machine warn or protect against market correction? Yeah, so if you're asking me that question, Fed Chucklehead, then you don't understand what the wealth machine is or does. It doesn't warn or protect against market corrections. It feeds off of market corrections. Do you understand? When the market corrects and pulls back, the machine gets hungry and it wants to eat. And so it gives you buy signals, which is why part of the wealth machine overall strategy is if you had $50,000 to invest, you do not put $50,000 in stock. You put 40,000 in stock and you have to keep 10,000 in cash. Because when you get a market correction or even a hefty pullback, your wealth machine is going to say buy because you can get the stocks that you got on a discount. It wants you to take that cash. It doesn't give short signals. Did it give you buy signals? Yes. And it depends on what your wealth machine is. Everyone's wealth machine is going to give different signals at different times because we have different stocks, or we bought at different levels, or we have different amounts of things. We have different allocation. We might have the same 10 stocks, but maybe you allocated different. So if you allocated different, the value of your portfolio is different, and it will trigger buy and sell based on your portfolio, your personal portfolio. So no, it did not give short signals and it did not protect against market correction. However, when the market does pull back, or we're in a correction phase or a bear market, it wants to buy. And if you don't have cash on hand, what are you going to do? Sell some of your stock so that you can buy? That's no good. So part of the wealth machine is initial allocation of cash and stock. When the markets pull back or correct, they give you buy signals because it's hungry, it wants to eat. And when the market rebounds like this, it gives you sell signals so that you can take profits and that money goes back into cash. And that's how you grow a portfolio. I have a long position in HD. Not quite sure, Tommy Two Toes, why you are long HD. Don't know when you got it. Don't know if you own the stock. I own the stock. Don't know if you are talking about an option or what you've got here. But this is definitely not a bullish chart. I think if you have an option that is positive, then I guess it all depends on when your expiration is, what did you say it was? The April 11th? Yeah. So I guess the question is, what is your target by the 11th? Do you have a spread? Have you hit the spread target yet? Did you trade it from here and your target was the 20? So you have a target of 375? All right, well, that's pretty aggressive, not knowing where the market is going. I mean, to me, that's pretty risky. I don't know when you got it, but I guess it makes sense to hold at this point. Personally, I'm not long the market. So this goes back to what I first did years ago when I opened Trade With Me Now. If the overall market weather is bearish, why in the world would you take a long trade? It doesn't make sense, does it? If the narrative is bearish and all indicators are showing negativity, and as proven by the correction, right, then these moves here, could be rebound, could be bounce, but you're not going to lean into long positions on individual stocks until you have confirmation that you are no longer in a bearish market, right? You're going to confirm the narrative that the market is bullish. Then you can look at stocks to trade. This is what my methodology has been for 5 years. You don't trade stocks bullishly when the market is bearish, and vice versa. But, if your target is 375, I'm not quite sure how you got to that target. If I was trading it and I traded it down here at the lower Bollinger Band, my target would be, at the time, depends on when you got it. Yeah, so it is possible that 375, if you took the trade here, it's possible that at that point 375 was the 20 period simple, but the 20 period simple has fallen. So now the target is here, but you are solidly above. So I think you could hold it for another day, but I think if you duck back underneath the 20, you got to close the trade. So stay in the trade as long as you're above the 20, I guess is what I would say. Strategy for TQQQ. I don't have a strategy. Again, same thing. I don't have a strategy for a stock or an indices or a reverse indices or index or an ETF. The strategy is to look at the overall narrative. You've been around long enough to know this. Build a narrative of what is the market doing. Look at the markets, VIX. Don't be lazy. You've got to do your homework and you've got to learn this stuff. Look at the 3 markets plus the narrative and what's happening. This, okay, so let's take a look at what's being affected the most. What indices, what ETFs, what industries, where can we then look for our bullish trades, and vice versa. I don't start with a trade with a stock and then go, well, should I trade this without looking at this, and levels? Does that make sense? If you have Wealth Machine and Masterclass CTV, should those positions be held in different accounts? You don't have to, no. I do just because I like having them in separate accounts, but you do not have to have them in separate. You could have it all in one account as long as you can keep track of it separately, sure. Do you ever calculate when an option is past the point of no return, if it's losing money, the stock can't possibly make any money, even if it reverses towards your target? For example, Apple. If Apple does not get below a certain number by a certain time, do you calculate? No, I don't do that kind of calculation. No, I do not. I'm looking at Apple. Whoops. I'm looking at Apple here, and the idea when we took it was here. We were just looking at the next leg lower of 215, 210. That was really the trade. And so if Apple, the fact that Apple is above 220, that's not good. I'm going to give it another day just to see where the markets go. But if the markets close above 562, 565, and Apple is solidly above the 20 tomorrow, then I'll take the trade off. But for now, I don't have confirmation necessarily of what the markets want to do. Right now, it's holding right here. Right now, the VIX is still holding right here. So again, I'm taking into consideration all of the things. Now, Apple put debit spread, probably didn't give it enough time. Should I roll it to next week? I might. If the markets close today below 560, Apple might fall, or I might want to roll it and just give myself more time. But if the narrative hasn't changed and the setup hasn't broken down, DJ, and you want to hedge Apple a little bit, then you could buy an SQQQ put. I'm sorry, you could buy an SQQQ call. Because if you thought, put. If you thought for some reason that your Apple trade was going to go against you and the markets were going to go higher, right? Then since SQQQ is the inverse, then you'd want to potentially buy a put here for 411 to protect, for 44 to protect your Apple trade. And if you didn't think it broke down completely, you could roll it to next week and put that put there so that if we rose up a little bit this week, you make some money. That helps finance the roll. And if we roll over next week, as you believe you will, then you make money on this one too.
Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed this video from Trade With Me Now. Make sure to go ahead and like this video and subscribe to our channel so you make sure that you catch our next video right when it's released. Also, if you have a question or comment, please leave that in the comments section below. And of course, if you want to learn more about Trade With Me Now or join our community of profitable traders, go to tradewithmenow.com. There's also a link in the description below.